Hello, I'm John, and I do the smokeless powder guns on this channel, and my buddy Dimwit, he does the black powder guns. And I have quite an unusual Mauser Model 98 here for you today. It's Karabiner 98B, carbine 98B, and these are interesting because it's not a carbine length rifle. It's a full length infantry rifle, and the reason for this is at the end of World War One. They had this Versail Treaty that Germany had to follow very strict rules in the years to come, and they weren't allowed to make infantry rifles, at least not very many, but they could make carbines for police purposes and that sort of thing. And so what they did, they made infantry rifles, they call them carbines, and it's got the turn down bolt handle like the carbines used to have back then, and it's got the side mounted sling like the carbines used back in the day. So that's how they kind of got by with it. They called them carbines, but they were full length infantry rifles. So these were made from 1923, and they made them for at least 10 years, or maybe even until 1935. And I think they made about 70,000, and that's when it comes to German Mausers, that's a very low number. And these guns were used during World War II, but they probably weren't used by frontline soldiers. They were probably used to guard duty and things like that. And this gun showed up here in Norway, and Norway has kind of been a paradise for firearms collectors. We had everything left behind from the Germans, and we got a lot of guns from United States, Canada, England after the war. So this gun doesn't belong to me, and I don't really collect German guns, World War II, but this belongs to a local hunting gear store that we have here in town, and they sell mostly new guns, but from time to time they sell some used ones. And they had this in their back room and didn't really know what to do with it. It didn't look good at all, and they've been good to me, so I offered to clean it up for him, and I have, and I spent about 6 hours working on this gun, and it looked terrible to begin with, but it turned out to be a wonderful gun, really. And this gun hasn't been used or messed with since World War II. It's been somewhere in storage, probably in somebody's basement, and it's been stored sitting in a corner with the barrel down, and the barrel had rusted, and the ramrod, or the cleaning rod, had rusted. So I had to clean that up ever so gently, and I had to use some cold blue on the end of the barrel here but it had cakes of rust on it. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. And I also had to remove some rust on the butt plate, and I kind of left a thin layer of rust on there because I didn't want it to look too good, because it's kind of battered anyway. But this gun was clean and oiled when it was put away in the end of World War II. And so now when I got it, it was full of dried up oil and with dust and dirt and grime. But it's that oil that saved it. And I was worried about that rust on the barrel here. It kind of started to rust inside of the bore, but it hadn't. It's got a wonderful bore. I was very surprised. And all the internal workings of the gun, no rust whatsoever. And it doesn't have any signs of wear. Wonderful rifling, the bolt, everything, the cam action of the bolt, the safety, sear, nothing, no signs of any wear. So its gun's been handled a lot, but it hasn't been shot a lot. And it's an unusual Mauser. I think it will be a wonderful addition to somebody's collection. And but it's not my gun, but it is for sale. So if you live in Norway and you'd be interested in owning this rifle, get in touch with me and I'll help you out. I don't know the price of the gun, so if anybody knows what something like this would be worth in Norway nowadays, let me know. But really there's nothing you need to do with this gun. It's it's ready for another war if you'd have to. So this carbine 98B is kind of the daddy of the K98 Mauser of World War II. The K98 is 5 inches shorter and it doesn't have the finger grooves, but it's got it's very similar. The K98 looks a lot more like this than the World War I rifles and carbines. So it's definitely an interesting gun, and I think anybody should be proud to own it. So that's it for now. Catch you later.